Hello friends, my name is Dain Miller.
And I'm Now Spain, and we are, each and every week, your fuck buddies.
We're officially in year 2.
Oh yeah, welcome to season 3.
No.
I was talking about Apex, but okay.
Oh yeah, I mean that's happening. What kind of podcast are we? Are we a game podcast?
No one knows.
No one knows. Actually, we're a dating sex advice podcast where we take your sticky, sexy situations and turn them into sexy, sticky situations.
So, I'm going to throw out a scenario to you.
Okay.
You're a girl.
Mm-hmm.
You have like a fling going on, you know, like a little, you're a fuck buddy situation kind of thing.
Sure.
You've had sex a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Best of your life, apparently.
Okay.
Not close at all, but he hunky. And one day he's getting changed. He's going to work the next morning after one of your many incredible bouts of sexy times. And you say something to the fact of, you know, along the lines of, yeah, you're so hot. And he looks at you and goes, yeah, bad dick game though, and walks out.
Huh. Okay.
What does it mean?
What, we're just jumping right into a question.
I guess that is technically a question.
What does bad dick game, though, mean?
Especially in the in that context of like, one, you're just saying someone's hot. Two, you've slept with them for quite a while and it was good. Like, quite good. The best she's ever had, apparently. Bad dick game. And just so casually, like, I've got bad dick game, though. And just walks out.
Well, no, hold on. Did he say, I've got bad dick game, or did he say, bad dick game, though?
I think he just said bad dick game, though, but there was an implied, I have, because he was agreeing that he was attractive and, like, adding on. Which itself,
maybe
it's such a confident, followed by unconfident statement.
I don't know, maybe he's, like, listening to some sort of sex Olympics or something in, like, his iPod, like his little pod bud things, in an ear that you can't see, and he was responding to some other question.
Maybe he was on Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Discussing his friend Dave.
Exactly.
Drippy Darnell.
Maybe he was watching, like some amateur porn. And he was, like, saying,
Maybe
and he was saying, it, yeah, I'm fucking hot, obviously. And then returned to his attention to the porn, and he's like, bad dick game, though. You know, maybe
what he was doing was he was voice to text commenting on porn. There we go.
Yeah.
We solved it. We done did it.
Yeah. It's... I don't...
I've been perplexed for a few days.
You're missing the noun. Or is it the article? It's the noun, right? The I? I don't know. I'm not the writer in this group. Yeah, I don't think he was talking about himself. It was clearly a sort of outer body experience in which he was commenting on something else. Maybe he's saying your dick game is bad.
Yeah, that's it. How's your dick game?
Yeah, maybe he was just like, yes, I know I'm hot. I would return the compliment. Unfortunately, your dick game is bad.
Yeah, he's like, all this time, I don't even think you have one.
Yeah.
Like,
look, I know we've been sleeping together for like 4 months, but if I don't start seeing some better dick game out of you, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I haven't seen it once. Where is it? Where are you putting that thing? Where are you hiding it?
Yeah.
It looks like a clitoris. What is this?
Hey, look, is that a micro penis? It's small enough to be a clit.
Well, you have 2 butts. What kind of boy are you? Vaguely related. I was walking down the street and he must have been about 30 years old guy walked towards me, and he had a t-shirt.
He told you were so hot?
And I looked, no. But he had a t-shirt on that said, "Believe me, when I woke up this morning, I didn't expect to be this sexy either, but shit happens."
Uh-huh.
It's we were probably roughly around the same age. He was a little bit older, I think, a little bit more refined, apart from that t-shirt.
No.
He looked really good,
Uh-huh.
I will say, which I think, I'm not sure if that makes it better or worse. He was wearing a nice, like, pair of slacks, like some good shoes. Like, he had, like, a briefcase. Like, he looked very professional. He looked very mature. He looked very attractive. And then he had this t-shirt.
No.
I'm like, nearly at this man's age. I didn't even think t-shirts like that were an option. It would never cross my mind.
We've talked about this scenario so many times on this podcast, and not intentionally. This is a body swap thing. He was an unattractive man, or someone he deemed unattractive. He was not a confident man in his physical appearance.
Yeah.
He woke up this
He
morning.
Freaky Friday'd.
He Freaky Friday
Wacky
into
Wednesday'd.
fucking Ryan Reynolds' body. And he felt so compelled. He went and got a custom T-shirt made to explain. He was like, look, guys, I understand. I know that you're used to seeing, Wilson as the dumpy sort of, acne scar-ridden, one eye droopy, sort of, missing most of my teeth Wilson. And today I look like
one cheek Wilson. They called him.
one cheek Wilson. And today I look like Ryan Reynolds. And he just got so tired of fucking explaining it on his lunch break. Popped over to the custom T-shirt shop.
Oh, so he wasn't even just being like, look at me, I'm hot. He was actually explaining the situation. Like, believe me, I did not expect this.
Oh yeah. He was.
Okay.
This is like him sort of being like, Wilson, you look different. It's like he unbuttons his fucking dress shirt and he's just like, there it is, look at it. Yeah. And then he got tired of unbuttoning and he was just like, I'm just gonna rock this shirt.
That's fair.
Because no one's gonna fire me. Because look at these abs.
I could just about see them through the t-shirt. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
But
you know who I think was behind this?
Clap alien cheeks, boy.
Well, I was going to assume that he might have a bunch of novelty T-shirts in his briefcase and just sort of
I'm
swap
wondering
them around.
if either one, he listened to our episode last week and that inspired him to go out and buy his
just
coveted T-shirt, and we've created a monster.
like a fucking Spencer's gift shop worth of fucking...
Oh, I bet they saw an uptick in sales.
Yeah.
For fucking sure. But secondly, maybe it was the opposite, and he was like, yo, wifey. And she was like, oh, what? He's like, I want to get one of two T-shirts, and the first one was Clap Alien Cheek. She's like, well, you can't get that, and he was like, okay,
all right,
bought.
Hey, if you say so. I think this might be the good magic of the Spite Witch. I think this guy was probably bullied and treated terribly for so long, and this is sort of like the ugly duckling thing.
To be fair, though, with a T-shirt like that, I wanted to bully him.
But that was because you thought he was like being like that was an explanatory T-shirt.
If I knew that was fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think he just he just overwhelmed with sort of confusion.
Yeah,
he made a bad choice.
That's fair. Well, you know what? Like I should have been more open-minded about it.
Yeah,
a bit of an asshole.
So when you see someone walking down the street in a novelty T-shirt,
douchebag T-shirt, maybe they just got Wacky Wednesdays.
Maybe take what's on their T-shirt as less of a brag and more of a exposition.
Yeah. That's the thing. Exposition, it's hard to do. So if you just have it casual in a T-shirt.
The one that's like the man, and then the arrow pointing down the legend. Perhaps his dick has been replaced with perhaps a unicorn horn or Mjolnir.
Uh-huh.
You don't know what's going on down
Maybe
there.
It's Atlantis.
Exactly.
It is sunken and swampy.
Maybe it's like a VHS copy of the movie Legend.
Mm-hmm. Or a mini disc.
Like one of those laser discs.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. Let's get in.
Oh boy, I think that's probably the best advice we're giving this episode, though.
Yeah, let's fucking end this.
You want to go, or do you want me to go?
We do have a submitted question.
Oh shit! Okay, let's do that first.
Okay. So they say, for context here, been dating this guy, has been going very well. It's not now, but that's a different story. So while it was going well, we ordered some fun stuff to my house.
Okay.
It got held up at customs. It was meant to be delivered this coming Monday. It spent 2 weeks in customs. And I was like, okay, cool, perfect. No one else is home Monday. I can receive this package. No pun intended.
Yeah, she can.
Yeah, boy. So it got delivered today. While I was out, my mom signed for it. Lol. So my question was, how do you leave the country or start a new identity when something like that happens? First step is you get a new agent name. So you are now Agent Alias.
Well, okay. Fun stuff, I'm assuming, is sex toys.
Mm-hmm.
Most sex toy places
usually
come in a very discreet thing. It's rarely like big red stamp being like dildos.
Yeah.
From the dildo factory.
Unless the custom agents were dicks.
Yeah.
Like, sorry for the delay, just had to check your dildos.
Yeah, just wanted to make sure you weren't sneaking terrorists in these dildos.
These dildos might have been weaponized. Stop vibrating.
That's what the box said.
Well, I think it was actually vibrators. Actual question is, what do you do / how do you approach it with family when someone has accidentally found out something about your sex life / heard you or seen something you wish they hadn't? Do you leave it? Do you address it? Do you leave everything behind, start a new life somewhere in Russia? In my case, customs never opened the box and it was unmarked, so I think it was okay, and she didn't know.
Yeah, unless your mom has X-ray vision, or is also a fucking, a frequent customer of wherever you bought this place.
Oh, that would be a fun twist. But then she's not going to want to bring
exactly.
it up either.
Your mom's not going to be like, hey, I noticed you got a package from
Deep Destroyer Dildos.da.
Yeah. Those goddamn perfect Denmark people. I'm assuming DA is Denmark.
Yeah, probably.
Also, can I just say that when we were making our website, we had the opportunity to register fuckbuddies.christmas.
I know.
And we didn't.
We're such fucking idiots.
I know.
We should buy it.
We should. I don't, like I said, 9 times out of 10, these places, like, they would go out of business if they shipped all of their sex toys in, like, a box that was very
dick-shaped packages.
Yeah, or like no one wants, because if it gets left on your doorstep, no one wants your neighbors to like walk by and be like, great, the Williams have got more fucking sex toys again. They're all like nondescript cardboard boxes that, like, again, unless someone's got X-ray vision or is really good at like shaking things around and guessing what's inside or the rough shape of what's inside a box, they don't know.
So what I think you should do is just thank your mom for picking up your package for you.
Yeah.
Just be like, oh, hey, cool. Thanks for picking that up. And if she's like, oh, what is it? Just have a fake item ready.
Yeah. Just a couple bucks.
If she then is like, I know it was X, then you're not the one that has to bring it up. They have, and like, it was going to happen anyway. And you can just be like, okay, whatever. I'm a grown-ass woman, Mom. But if they don't, or if they're not willing to bring it up and you bamboozle them with a new item, they're probably just going to let sleeping dogs lie.
Yeah, just be like, it's a new charging cable for my phone or my laptop.
Ooh, yes.
You know what I mean? Because like then it's electronics.
Yeah, no one can tell one cable from another. That's smart. Because I was going to say you have to be careful that it's not like a book you already have or a top she already knows about. Yeah. But yeah, cable's good.
Just be like, oh yeah, like I fucked up the charging cable for my phone or my laptop or whatever and had to order a new one.
But then she's like, oh my god, wow, Deep Destroyers dildos.da? I'm going to go look for my cable. How long was yours? What'd you say? How long was that cable? 12 inches?
Okay, 12 inches.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and fuck, the hackers. The hackers got to the site again.
Like, I can't believe this. It was up last week. That's what happens when these great deals go up. They get taken over by dildo shops.
Yeah, hackers just come in and hack their store.
Those Denmark, man.
Like, no parent wants to be like,
yeah,
oh, you got some vibrators? Oh, you got a cock ring? Like, no, I mean, I'm sure there are some parents that really want to get into that. But most parents, the last thing anyone wants to do is talk about their kid's sex life or even like put any sort of mental image of what their kid is doing in their sex life. Yeah. And the second you start talking about sex toys, rarely does it leave any sort of room for ambiguity. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, if you've got a dildo, it's going in a hole. I mean, like, which hole, that's a little up in the air, but like...
That is Deep Destroyer Dildo's guarantee.
Yeah.
100%. If you've got a dildo, it's going in a hole.
It's going in a hole. And that's, you know what I mean? Like, anything like that. You got a cock ring. That's not a new fucking bracelet.
Could be.
I mean, yeah.
If you very thin or very thick wrists.
Very thick.
I say different approach. Just go aggressive. Walk right in and be like, yeah, Mom, it's a vibrator. Or, like, preferably while she's either 1, sleeping, 2, having breakfast, or 3,
just kicking the door.
Kick in the fucking... No. Vibrate the lock open. Hit the frequency that just jiggles it loose.
Yeah, burst the flash when he goes through. He vibrates at the right frequency to walk through solid objects.
It's the kinkiest thing I've ever heard.
Or maybe split the difference and just
pelt her with the vibrator.
Be like, oh, thanks for picking that up, and then open it right there and start like, be like, hey, Mom, you ever use one of these? What one of these? Hey, Mom, what are these? Have you ever seen one of these?
Just open it up and be like, what is this?
Have you ever seen the video of the kid who gets a bong?
No.
And it's like his mom like opens the package for him and she's like, Daniel, what is this? And he's like, oh, it's my new Xbox controller. And she's like, this is not a... And he's like, it's a flower vase. And she's like, Daniel. He just keeps trying to bullshit his mom.
Yeah. Just be like, oh my God. What?
Yeah,
is this? And the
literally,
thing
that's
is-
what he's like. Wait a minute, this isn't my Xbox controller.
But yeah,
So
open
good.
it up, middle of the living room, yell out in shock and surprise, "What is this?" She comes over and she goes, "Oh, it's a vibrator." She's not going to do that. She doesn't want to have the conversation. She's going to come up with a terrible lie, be like, "Oh, it's a massager." "Oh, great. Okay, maybe I should keep it. Yeah, I'll put it up in my room." Then she can never talk about it again. Because she can't be like, "Hey, sorry, that's actually a vibrator and it's weird that you, one, have it, two, use it, blah, 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 blah." She has to keep going with that lie forever, or she has to admit that she lied and knows about these things. She doesn't want to do that.
Yeah.
So you can get carte
Parents
blanche.
don't know about sex.
Yeah, they also don't know about technology, so that fucking wire thing was gold.
Yeah.
There we go.
If there's one thing I'm good at, it's a lying to my parents.
Ooh. You ever had to lie to your parents? They're so adorable.
Oh yeah, no, I literally did it for fun. This makes me sound terrible, but
no.
my parents are the loveliest creatures in the fucking world,
I
and
can
they
attest
are
to this.
they are like just the sweetest.
They are very
sort of
gullible,
like
though.
yeah, they're like golden retriever puppies. Like you love them, you can't not love them. They're the sweetest thing. They make the world a better place, but sometimes it's fun to pretend like you threw the ball and then hide it because it's cute to see what they do.
Having been at Dain's house for many Christmases and Thanksgivings, because he is the loveliest human and I don't have family in the country, I can attest to this. They are the loveliest people ever, and your guys' relationship is hilarious.
Like I convinced my mom that she's like an after school teacher and she deals a lot with kids, and I remember one day we were going out or at dinner or something, and she was like, "My kids keep calling each other emo," and I was like, "Whoa, Mom, that's like all of the racial slurs together." And she's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, it's sort of like the new like super slur." And the next day, she got home from work and she was like, "Dain, I just yelled at my kids for like an hour and a half about racism, and at the end of it, they explained to me what emo meant." And I was like, "Oh boy, didn't think that one through."
But to be fair, 28 kids learned about racism.
Yeah, so I mean, what I'm
Really?
really trying to say is my parents owe me a thank you.
Also,
I've taught them lessons they'll
did
never
you
forget.
ever tell them about a Japanese salty dish? Because I never realized how much that question sounded like you were their son.
My son?
No, you. The question was you. The Japanese salty dish.
Oh, yeah.
That sounded like it was you.
I mean, I don't think, I never intentionally embarrassed my parents. Like, I didn't want my mom to, like, I didn't think
I
she
guess,
would do
yeah,
that, you know what
yeah.
I mean? I just made up a bunch of shit.
And it backfired, but adorably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Go for it.
Okay.
I hope we help, Agent Alias.
This comes from Reddit user Leather Joan. Raincoat mistake in the bedroom? I'm a middle-aged widow, and I still love sex in all of its forms. Recently, a boyfriend had stayed the night, and we had a great time in bed. When we woke up, it was raining, and after cuddling time, I went to the closet and pulled out a raincoat I had purchased in London a year ago. It was beige vinyl inside, and out of the front was zipper and straps on the collar and cuffs.
Oh, no.
I asked him to put it on me backwards, like a straitjacket, and he thought I was crazy. I just thought it would be fun. Yes, years ago with my husband, I was bound in a leather straitjacket for sex, and it was great. Now he's avoiding me, although we have known each other for years. Was I expecting too much, or am I just making a mountain out of an anthill?
Isn't it a mountain out of a molehill?
Yeah.
Personally.
I guess she really doesn't think this is a big deal.
That's probably why he dumped her. I would.
Well, she's a widow, so...
No, but this guy...
Oh, I thought you meant like her husband. I was like, the
Hey,
harshest
to be
way to
fair,
dump someone.
If you were with someone for 15 years and they kept saying that... I shouldn't joke about this.
No.
But I did, so deal with it.
I deal with it.
No.
This is year 2, baby.
Year 2, we don't fucking care. We get you all hooked. Now we can be the assholes we always were.
Yeah, I lied to my parents.
And we also love seduction. And one of us is Dan.
This is just Dan's viral marketing campaign.
Dan.
What happens
If I leave, guess what you have? Dan. I'm glad, because then I'm not Dan. It's you, you piece of shit.
I'm alright with being Dan.
No.
He's a modern man.
It seems like really weird.
So sorry,
Also, like-
there's more to the she came out wearing it.
Mm-hmm. A raincoat.
A raincoat.
Okay.
In the morning.
Fine.
And then I can't remember if she had it on backwards already, And yes, I believe she already had it on backwards.
That's fine.
And he was just like, "What the hell?"
But
like
that's
weirded
not
out.
that weird.
I mean, it's a little weird to like.
It's not normal, but it's not like
Yeah.
whoa, like
Yeah,
whoa, like calm down.
It's not breakup offense or anything.
Okay, what are you doing?
And then she took it off and was like, "You put it back on me, but like a straight jacket." And I guess he was, weirded out by that. And
sorry, I'm laughing at the cat.
And it's just failed.
Yeah, so turning this into a straitjacket would be quite difficult.
No, if it's like a zip up, sort of like mid waist raincoat, and like you put it on backwards.
Yeah.
So it zips up on the back, and then she,
you have to like, tie the sleeves together.
Yeah, I assume that's.
But like, that's not that weird.
It's
you
not.
know what I mean? It's like, yeah, maybe I don't know, like putting a raincoat on backwards and whatever. It's just like, I want to be. I don't know. I just feel like the act itself and the whole thing. It's like, it sounds almost in the question where she's like, I was just so wild. I put a raincoat on backwards. I think obviously I think this is a question of, because I assume that's not weirded him out. It's the actual whole thing itself. So it's one of those things where you don't maybe spring a kink on someone.
Yeah, especially because like this is very light bondage play.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is, a straitjacket I think also has connotations of like
100%
mental health and like just kind of like it's got that little extra where it's like handcuffs are
there's
one
a
thing.
seasoning of there's some baggage that goes along with a straitjacket.
Exactly, which may or may not be why she likes it. It could just be being restrained, and that's just a way they did it. But I also don't think it's weird for the person being introduced to this to have associations with that they might not necessarily find sexy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, cool, like you're like mentally, you know, I don't know what word I should use here.
Yeah,
but
I know. I was thinking of the same, because I also don't want to be like, it kind of makes you look crazy.
Yeah. No, but like I think in real life, if someone was in a straitjacket and you were having sex with them, you should go to jail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people in this situation would probably have that thought and then be a little turned off, and then maybe would relate that feeling with you, and then just like it could just cause this whole thing if you don't actually properly talk about it, which it sounds like he didn't.
And again, depending on like the style of the raincoat, like those kind of raincoats also
raincoats are the least sexy clothes. Well, and I know this because I came from Ireland, and that's all we fucking wore.
And it's also sort of like, I mean, like this is more of a North American thing, because I imagine you probably saw a lot more normal raincoats, but like the only people who wear raincoats are like kids. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like if it's one of those like yellow, she says it's beige, but like if it's got sort of like a kid vibe to it, that would also kind of be like,
she might have looked like it was probably quite big, hence why there was extra arm room to tie him up.
I don't know.
I will say, funny, quick, brief aside from Ireland, there was a lingerie line launched a few years ago. Or sorry, not lingerie, a beachwear line launched a while ago that had matching raincoats and umbrellas. Because that's the kind of country I come from. So it rains that beaches. Goddamn much.
You're nowhere near water.
Yeah, no one goes under fucking shit. It's just cans of Dutch gold and stones.
Yeah, I think this was sort of I can't explain why he's not answering you, because that seems like a bit of a drastic response.
Yeah, I feel like it's an immature response, or maybe you brought up something that he, you know, like that could always be an issue. Like,
also, did you mention that you and your dead husband used to do this?
Yeah, that could be.
If that's a thing where you're like, oh, but you know, my dead husband and I used to do this all the time, and it was amazing. Like,
I used to pretend I was a mental patient restrained for my husband who has since died, but now I want to do the dead husband things with you.
Yeah.
That cool? Yeah, like there are a lot of different aspects to this. I think the way to maybe, like, advice is, you know, if you want to introduce a kink into a relationship, maybe like, you know, I think straitjacket is like the evolution of handcuffs. So maybe start with handcuffs.
Yeah, I mean, like,
you know?
Or even just to bring up like the fact of being like, I would love to be restrained.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And test the waters. If he's like, oh, actually, that is not.
Yeah, like,
you know, for whatever reason, if he's not into it, it's like, okay, cool. But to just sort of, you know, show up pre-restrained, you've sort of like kicked that door open without knocking.
Yeah, exactly. And you've also done that. Like, I think if he came in and you were tied up with handcuffs, that would also be kind of the same thing, but to like a lesser degree, because people know like handcuffs are pretty vanilla.
Yeah.
To a degree, whereas like straitjackets, I don't know, most like can't say I've ever done it.
Yeah, I feel like you've got to be pretty like
and again,
ingrained into bondage.
Not that there's
and
anything
stuff.
wrong with that. I just do think that like you really do need to take things slow with people.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially like again, I keep having in my mind that like they're an older couple, just because of the word widow. I know that you could be 20 and a widow.
True. Well, didn't they say they were in their 30s, or am I imagining that?
I'm a middle-aged widow.
Yeah, okay. So middle-aged is
Usually
is that,
40s, 50s.
Yeah. So that's also fair. Like, when you're that age, again, this could be a wild generalization, but I feel like things weren't as accepted back then, you know?
Or
so
even,
you might not
even
have
just
grown up with that.
Yeah, like you might have been in a very sex positive, but like you don't know where he's coming from. Like he might have grown up in a very religious thing where it was just sort of like no sex, you know what I mean? Like maybe him just having sex out of wedlock is a big deal for him, or you know what I mean? Like there's no way of knowing a person's sort of situation until you kind of bring it up with them and to just
spring shit on people.
Yeah.
But also if he's not even writing back, it's probably a good thing this shit ended, because that's just not a mature, you know.
Yeah, and like
considering nothing dangerous or upsetting or violent or like whatever happened, if it's just like a sexual miscommunication, there's no need for that. So the fact that he's ignoring you, I don't think is...
Yeah, and I mean, if you really want to reach out, there's no harm in saying, hey, I apologize if I've crossed a line with you.
Yeah.
If that triggered something in you, that was not my intention. It was something I thought would be fun and I wanted to explore. If you'd like to talk about it, I'm open to it.
Yeah, and
but
just like,
but
I
if this
would
is
like to
if
talk
this
about
is a
it.
deal breaker, then I respect your prerogative, and it was fun while it lasted.
This is from Thor Random on Reddit, and me, 27-year-old female, or I, 27-year-old female, find it hard to be in serious relationships because guys seem bothered by my past. A few weeks ago, I was broken with this guy. I assume broken up with.
Yeah.
At 29, who I'd been seeing for a few months. I somehow took that breakup especially hard since things seemed to be going well. What was especially upsetting is the breakup followed a discussion about our sexual past where, upon his request, I revealed that my number was 37. As soon as I told him, I could kind of see his expression change. Things seemed normal for a bit, but he said he wanted to take a few days off to think, then sent me a text, and it was over. The event really triggered my insecurity since I've had this happen to me a few times before recently. It's getting to the point where I'm seriously bummed out about the fact that the kind of guys I'm interested in generally seem put off by my history to the point they don't want to be in a relationship. Truth be told, I'm not entirely happy with my history either. In college, I had a bad relationship, was super busy and a bit depressed, and went through this party hookup phase for years. Initially, I found it kind of fun and liberating, and I don't regret all of it, but close to graduating, it felt increasingly empty, like it was the same nonsense on a loop, same lines on Tinder, etc. And I also frankly started to just feel used and disrespected by many guys who apparently saw me as an easy target, like I was a stupid girl they could just manipulate to get what they wanted and be disposed of. Anyway, since then I've jumped headfirst into my career and become a bit of a workaholic. I'm making a nice life for myself and want to share it with someone, but I feel like the past is this barrier that keeps coming up. I feel really shitty about the situation. I've never done anything unethical in previous relationships. In fact, I've tried to work extra hard to prove I'm loyal, caring, and can be a good partner. I feel like my history is always like a brand people use to pigeonhole me, and then that's that. Well, sorry, I can't change what I did. I can only work on who I am now. Sorry for the rant. I guess my question is, has anyone been through something similar? How can I reassure guys that my party days are long behind me and that my past in no way defines the kind of person I want to be today?
I mean, this speaks pretty strongly to me because my number is also fairly high, and I remember being pretty nervous. Like, I couldn't even give you a concrete number.
Yeah, well, that's the funny thing is I would love to get a clarification on whether that's a guess number, because I feel like
seems pretty specific,
right? But I feel like after a certain point, if you're keeping track of your number, it's a little weird.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't even begin to, especially in sort of my sex downward spiral where I was just
but
sort of
also there's nothing wrong with flat out just off the
your number.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't mean anything. Also, the whole concept of your number,
I think
is
the fact
most
that someone
fucking
asks you that
buck
is very
wild.
indicative of that person.
Yeah.
So it's never going to be a good answer if that's the question you're asking. because that just shows how insecure you are.
Yes.
Unless it's like 0 or 1, and at that point, like I think it's
feel
a
like
bad
most
answer
people-
in the opposite sense.
Yeah, I feel like most people who ask that question want it to be like they have a range that is acceptable to them.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? They want it to either be like 1 to like 5. I feel like most guys like that's
I don't know, maybe 1 to 3. You should see the fucking comments on this thing.
yeah. I mean,
It gets insane. Like, and that's
I don't doubt it at all. It's fucking wild because again, I don't want to say that like guys are celebrated for a high number because I can tell you straight right now that is not the case.
It's not.
It might be like, you know, guys amongst guys might be like, oh, cool, but like
Some guys.
again, most guys don't really give a shit. Like
Yeah.
it's really only the real shitty dudes who are like, I've fucked over 100. You know what I mean? It's like,
and those
no-
are the people who have a specific number, which also believe speaks volumes.
Yeah. I imagine most of like our male friends, if I was like, how many people you slept with, they would ballpark it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't think any of us have like kept track or
No.
tabs on it because it's such an inconsequential thing.
Especially
for
as you get older. I think maybe when you're like 17, you're like, I got 3, like, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, like, look at this. Like, because you almost want, like, you're insecure and you're young and you're dumb.
Absolutely.
And it's like a bragging right thing or like
And
a
sex is super
self-validation
new.
thing. But yeah, so, I don't know. Firstly, it isn't an issue. Your number doesn't fucking matter. Secondly, I do think it's pretty cool that despite this having happened before, you're still willing to be honest about it.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people in the comment chain were like, lie.
Oh, just lie about
Lie
it. Yeah,
about it.
100%.
No, fuck that. Like, if this person is too insecure to be with you, despite the fact that you've had sex, or because of the fact that you've had sex, then fuck them. And by that I mean don't fuck them. I'd also love to know like their number, and I'll bet a lot of the reason why they're upset is that theirs is lower. Because I know people who get upset by that shit.
Yeah, I mean, like the question I would love to ask them would be like, what has changed
Exactly.
from this point? It's like this person has gone through these things in their past and has led them to create a person that you obviously had enough like to care enough
Yeah.
about or have enough interest to sort of like want to know this number that's important to you.
Yeah.
But like, if that number led you to this person that made you care about them enough to
Yeah.
want to know whether or not you'd want to spend more time with them, then what does it matter?
Yeah, if that number was 1 or 100, like, is she 3 times different if it's 100? Or
Yeah.
37 times different if she's 1? Like, what actually fucking changes?
Yeah, there's literally no change in the person that you're talking to currently at this like present moment,
Yeah.
no matter what the fucking number is. So
So, wait. Let's go straight to the comments here.
oh, please don't.
Women who have had sex more than 1 to 3 times are X amount more likely to break up with you.
I'd love to know like.
Apparently that's a thing. But also,
I mean, I'm sure it's also the same thing with like people love to throw fucking statistics
yeah.
about shit, and you're just like, where?
But the thing,
Just give me one.
I will say I'm just seeing what people were throwing out. I didn't follow any of their links because I don't,
Oh, yeah,
you
no.
know. But the thing is, we all like I've been in shitty relationships where I put up with a lot of crap. I'm sure you have been.
Sure.
I know we both have been. I know so many people have because it's like the first person you meet, you're like, oh my god, yeah, this person's amazing, and then you're like, next time you're like, okay, this person, and you're like, you grow up, you grow older, you learn from your experiences, and then like. Maybe you've had 2 or 3 relationships and then you're a lot more aware of what you should and shouldn't put up with and blah, 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 blah. So yes, of course, people who've only had 1 relationship and therefore only had sex with one person would be less likely to register like things. So,
Yeah.
and the thing is, the point made by a lot of people were like, the point of the survey that you're looking at is that they actually know more about what they want. They're more mature and know more about relationships and therefore are more likely to end one if it's bad. So how is that a bad thing?
Yeah, I mean, that was my point.
Yeah.
Was going to be like, yeah, they might be, but like, there's no context of the breakup. Are they
Exactly.
cheating? If it was like they're more likely to cheat or be unfaithful or lie or you know any of those bullshit,
And
but
like-
like just breaking up. Like if the whole point of the study is like, oh, the more partners you have, the more relationship experience you have, the more
Yeah.
likely you are to not stick around in shitty relationships.
Yeah, that sounds like the
Fucking
best
great.
thing. Like,
Yeah.
cool. This girl's discerning, which is, at this point, a compliment to you because she's still with you.
Yeah.
But, okay. Yeah, it's fucking buck wild. And then people were like, yeah, I don't want that in a partner. It's like, sorry, you don't want a partner who like will stand
Who's
up
a
for
not a me?
herself and
Yeah.
will maybe get out of a bad relationship. Like, no, putting it like that's terrible. I just don't want to have to look at every one of my actions because they're always judging me. It's like, everyone's always judging everybody, man.
Yeah,
And
whether
if
it's
you're-
subconscious or not, it's like
if being a good person
We're all in
seems
the
exhausting
telltale
to
game.
you, yeah. But like,
you know what I mean.
Can you
Dain will
imagine?
remember that.
Can you imagine like the mindset of being like, oh, it's exhausting. If I do something wrong, she might not hang. Like, what? I just want the freedom to do bad things to my partner and have them put up with it.
Yeah, if you're not constantly self-aware of that your actions have consequences and that bad actions will have bad consequences,
And not also willing to deal with that.
yeah,
Yeah, the whole thing is fucking batshit. So I find one of the most interesting parts of the question to me is the guys I usually like. And I don't know whether she means like, because to me this goes one of two ways. Like either people who are like really inexperienced, who are just so terrified and overwhelmed by that number that they're just like, I feel like this is a party girl I can't hang with. Or people who are just douchebags who are just like, you're a slut, bye. So maybe just don't meet those kind of guys, depending on what you mean by.
I'm also interested. Like, this is, I don't want to throw a shame at anyone, but like, I wonder how much of this is sort of like could be self-sabotage, because it's weird to me that like so many people are asking your number. Like, are you
Referencing,
you know what I
past-
mean? Like,
yeah.
are you bringing this up somehow, or like sort of planting the seed to steer the conversation to this direction in hopes that you reveal it and they don't care, as a way of like validation or a way of like
Yeah,
confirmation
'cause
or affirmation?
It sounds like you're hung up on it a little too.
Yeah.
And like, it sounds like it's fine. Like, again, and I feel like you need, because I think I saw an edited version at the moment as well. Because earlier on, there was like a, how do I become a different person or seem like a different person? And like, that seemed to me really problematic because it's like, you are a different, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
as you grow up, you are. And it's like, you said you had this thing and you don't regret it. Great, you shouldn't. And then when it became something that you weren't enjoying, you stopped it, which doesn't mean you having done it before was bad.
Yeah.
Like, it means you've
I mean-
changed, and that's fine. You listen to, like, if you had kept doing it, even though you didn't enjoy it, then yes, that would be bad. You know? So, yeah, like, maybe, again, like, not it's your problem or your fault thing, but, like, think about why these things are coming up. Like, are you constantly or, like, making vague allusions to, like, all these previous
Yeah,
relationships?
or like, are you always just like, oh, back in the day would have been a problem. Back in, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
are you, if you're constantly sort of like giving them a reason to be like, okay, so what exactly are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then it comes
'Cause,
down
like-
to like, oh, well, I just have a high number. It's like, okay, well, like what's high? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like if that's
or
the,
did they, like, kind of come to the periphery of the issue and you were like, 37?
yeah.
You know, because maybe they were like, oh, you, like, that's the thing. Unless they were just straight up out of nowhere, like, hey, by the way, this has been a really nice evening. What's your number?
What's your number?
It's
Just
like, oh.
just before we conclude this evening, what's your number?
And then you just look at them and you say, dick game bad, though.
Yeah.
No, it's just like, and again, that is not also to say you shouldn't bring up your past, because I feel like if you have a partner who is uncomfortable with you mentioning your past, that's fucked. And I don't think you should ever, you know.
Yeah, I guess it also depends on like the duration of your like.
Unless your past was buck wild and horrendous, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, you also have the right to revise history as you see fit. And I don't mean that as in you have the right to lie, but it's like if there's stuff in your past that you don't want to talk about, you can not talk about it. You know what I mean? Like there's no harm in saying, actually, you know what? That's a point in my life that I don't want to revisit. I am currently focusing on going ahead. And if someone's like, I need to know, it's not their right to know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if they are okay with who you are right now, then whatever happened in the past can stay there. And that's my personal opinion. I know a lot of people are like, I want full transparency, but and I can see it both ways. I really can.
Well, what I wanted to make clear was when we said like, what are you saying to get in that situation? Like, are you bringing up your past, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. I definitely don't want it to seem like bringing up your past is unhealthy, because
Oh,
I think
absolutely.
it's
Yeah,
great.
for sure.
So just the clarification I wanted to make was like, we all know there's a difference between being open and honest and talking about things, or like really kind of hammering the point. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
And it's also like,
mentioning or
is this
talking
like
about
one or
things.
two dates? Like,
Yeah.
because if on my first date, you steer the topic of conversation to how many people you fucked, I'd be like, all right.
Yeah,
like, that's a bit of a red flag for me.
Don't talk about your ex on the first date kind of thing. Like, it's one of those things where I just look about how you're bringing it up and by no means refuse to admit you have a past because, like, fuck, man, like, our girlfriends listen to this fucking podcast.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
And, like, how many things do we fucking talk about? And, like, I love that me and my girlfriend can both talk about, like, people we fucked and times that we've done X, Y, and Z. And, like, it's fun because we can, like, they're always a story one way or another, right? And a lot of, like, fun situations end with X or Y or, like, times with your ex or your fuck buddy. And, like, I've had girlfriends where if I mention anything or if somebody else mentions anything that even, like, tangentially, like, links to someone I slept with or some time I slept with someone somewhere, like,
it becomes an
it's
issue
a fucking
jealousy
issue. And it's like, one, you didn't even exist back then. You don't get to. And also, it sucks having to be like, if you're talking about something and you want to be like, oh my god, that night was, and you're like, oh, I can't bring it up or I'll get in trouble. Like, fuck that shit. You know what I mean? I feel like if you're that person in a relationship, like, you need to get over it. Like, am I
especially
supposed
if it was
to
like a point in time before you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like,
if I cheated on you with someone and then kept bringing that person up, that's a very different situation.
Yeah.
Also, if someone was like, hey, I cheated on 37 boyfriends, very different situation.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because that's just like, because cheating on someone is a pretty bad thing.
Yeah.
Fucking someone isn't. So.
Yeah, no, it's wild. Again, my advice here is this is something that can be discussed at a later date. I think bringing it up too soon is a recipe for disinterest.
Yeah.
But, like, I think once someone gets to know you, it's a little easier to be like, oh, that doesn't really matter a whole lot because I know you as a person, as opposed to, like, you know, I kind of know you, but now I know this big number instead. Again, the number doesn't mean shit.
Yeah,
I really want to drive that home.
The reason people are getting upset about is insecurity, right? Insecurity, societal bullshit standards, or, as a lot of people point out, just sexual, like, synergy. Because, for me, sex means a lot. And if you had sex with 37 people, it can't have meant a lot, which is bullshit. You can have sex once or twice with someone and have a lot of fun and have a good time and not date them.
Yeah, I mean, like, I also, like, I get that point of view. Like, if sex means different things to different people. So, like, yes, you might not be sexually compatible. If sex means so much to people that, like, they feel like the only people they want to have sex with are people that they either love or have a very strong emotional connection to, for sure.
But, like, that doesn't preclude you from both having that sex. Just because they've had sex with people in the past.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? That I feel like that's kind of an excuse for people.
Yeah.
Because obviously up till that point, the sex you've been having was doing it for you. So why has the fact that she's fucked other people, which again, you don't know the situations of that sex. Like you could have very, like, what if she was in a polyamorous relationship with, like, you know, a few people multiple times that actually lasted kind of a long time.
Yeah.
Like, she could have been having very loving sex all the fucking time. Or she could have had sex thinking that was how it went and then realized she does want loving sex or whatever. Like, it's such a bullshit thing to be like, oh, we were having this thing, but now that I know you've slept with X amount of people, that has changed this for no reason.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. It's, the number has no impact on who you are other than the impact that it's already had in creating the person that you are currently.
Yeah, it
has nothing to do with anyone on the peripheral sidelines of your life. Like, nowhere does anyone else become affected by the amount of sex that you've had. Unless, like, I mean, there's exceptions, obviously, like children, like STDs, that kind of stuff. But
also, like, if, you know, again, people raise the STD question. It's like, you could get one from fucking one, not sleeping with anybody, or two, sleeping with one person.
Yeah, exactly. It takes one person.
Yeah, I assume she's clean if you've been having sex, and I assume if she's a responsible partner, which probably she's more likely to be, considering she has more experience.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild. Don't be dicks, people.
Yeah, I mean, also,
the comments are horrendous.
Can we just...
Also, I don't think this question would exist if it was a guy. I'm not saying it wouldn't happen to a guy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure there are girls who get upset by numbers. We've both experienced this.
I've 100% had women like
Oh, yeah.
bail on dates and or not like stop sleeping with me once they found out that my number was
100%.
increasingly high.
Yeah, no, I've definitely had the same thing, and it's like, what's the fucking matter? But also, I don't think they would get this level of aggression and vitriol and just bullshit
no,
if it was a guy.
No. I mean,
so
again,
don't be a dick like that.
I'm a bartender. The amount of times I hear women giving shit either to other women or about other women about the amount of people that they've slept with. And I'm like, it's 2019. We are fighting very, very, very hard right now for this not to be a conversation. And you're on the side we're fighting for.
Yeah.
Why are you crossing? Why are you enemy lines right now?
Yeah.
This makes no sense to me.
It's just
like let people fuck whoever they want. I don't care what point
Within reason.
on the fucking gender spectrum you are.
Yeah.
If you want to have sex with someone and it's a consenting adult relationship,
Okay, that's, yeah.
have sex with them. Do you know what I mean? And it doesn't matter if you know what I mean, are sleeping with them once. It doesn't matter if you barely know their name. It doesn't matter if you love them.
Once everyone's good to each other,
if you
and
wanna
you're
have
all
sex,
of legal age,
they want to have sex, and you've consented.
I'm consenting.
Have sex. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And then whatever happens, happens. But the quality of the sex and the duration of the sex or how long you're going to have sex with these people, it doesn't matter.
no. It's so annoying. So please just grow the fuck up, people. Like,
And like, let's open our little box
hey,
of like
37 times. Sorry.
of things that we can just be done with.
Yeah, can we get
And
rid of that?
and that's
like,
the number. Can we just put the number in the fucking box,
Yeah.
close it, lock it, and forget that it's even a thing?
Yeah.
Because it's so
also
irrelevant.
means it, like, and no one can give a good reason as to why it upsets them.
Yeah,
Apart
no.
from like awkwardly trying to pretend
Literally
it's not
have to
that
be
you
like,
feel super
Zone of truth, these
self-conscious.
bitches.
I know.
And
It's
be
just
like,
I'm self-conscious. I'm self-conscious. I'm self-conscious. And I get it.
Or
I was there.
I'm a piece of shit, and I don't think women should have the same sexual freedom as me.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
exactly.
which I think is probably, I think it's the, you know what I mean? I think it's probably a very close to even 50-50 split of being,
if not both at the same time.
I'm self-conscious because you've had more sex than me, and I'm worried that you're going to either be more experienced and or
Realize
compare
my dick
me.
game bad.
Yeah, compare me to other men.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, that's a terrifying situation.
Yeah, and
no one
again,
wants
like-
to be compared, especially men who are very fragile about a bunch of shit when it comes to sex. But
And the thing
if
is,
you don't know the number, this doesn't have to be a problem.
Yeah.
So let's take that number and put it in the box and never talk about it ever again.
and I get it. When I was younger, 100% I've been in situations where someone dropped their number and I'm like, oh my God, I feel like shit. And I'm scared and I'm nervous and I feel like
Yeah, I mean, the
a
first
weak
thing...
piece of shit. But also, I grew the fuck up.
Yeah, the first thing that you like that comes to like a dude's head, or at least, what I imagine one of the first things, at least for me, is if you've slept with 10 people, those are 10 dudes who could very easily have a bigger dick than me, or
be
last
better than
longer
me, or
than
last
me,
longer
you know
than me,
what I mean?
or
Or
be
look better,
more muscly
taller
than
than me.
me.
Yeah, exactly. There's like the more people you sleep with, the higher the odds are that I'm at the bottom of the fucking pool.
Yeah. Which is kind of like, and again, I've had that thought a million times.
Oh, yeah.
But also, the person is sleeping with you currently.
That's the
so
thing.
guess what? It's not a fucking issue. They're not like, damn it, I need to fuck this guy 20 times before I can find the next one. Like, I'm contractually bound. Like, they're doing it of their own fucking free will, and it doesn't fucking matter, because obviously, you're fine.
Yeah, when
But you know what's not attractive is having a little freak out about that. And guess what? You're going to shoot to the bottom of that pile,
Yeah.
no matter how good your dick game is.
I remember I was going to meet, so when Amanda and I were, before we became exclusive, I was dating another girl who was in a polyamorous relationship, and I had never met her boyfriend. And the first time I was actually going to meet him was at this, like, Viking sex party at a sex club. Have I told this story?
To me, yes.
I can't remember if I've told it in the podcast.
Here, I don't.
I don't think so. And my big thing was, I was just like, well, fuck. Because there's two things. Like, I'm probably going to see this guy's dick.
And be within feet
like,
of his
yeah,
dick.
like not intentionally, but like there's probably going to be a good chance where the four of us will be doing something.
It's 2019. You can intentionally see his dick. It's
I
okay.
mean, yeah. I don't have any interest, but I was just like, the first thing that I'm going to do is get that like sort of
course.
mental meter stick out and start measuring. And then I'm like, but so are the ladies. And granted, the girl who wasn't Amanda, already knows. She slept with us both.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like, I was really hesitant to do this, and I was just like, you know what? I'm really nervous about this. I don't know if this is a good idea. And she's like, look, how long did I sleep with you?
Yeah. It's like she's not doing that for no reason.
And I was just like, and like, it was just a very blunt, just being like, I'm a big fan of your penis. Otherwise, I wouldn't keep sleeping with you.
It's one of those things.
Obviously,
that,
Amanda is a big fan of your penis because she's also sleeping with you.
Yeah.
So, like,
you don't walk down the road and be like, those are bigger boobs. Bye. Like,
yeah.
It doesn't make sense, but it's one of those things you need to stop, focus on, and actually rationalize because we all, and I know there's a million guys, well, maybe not a million guys listening, but I would bet every single guy listening, and probably every single girl, has had this thought. And that's okay. Being a dick about it and refusing to grow up from that thought and rationalize and move on with your life, I don't think that's okay.
Yeah. It's,
so, I don't know. Just...
So, number is in the box. It's locked. We're done with it.
Yeah. Stop it. Why does it fucking matter?
This comes from Reddit user ejock1103.
Oh my god, the jocks have gone.
It's not jock like J-O-C-K.
Oh, so
it's just J-O-C.
They haven't taken over the internet space.
No, thank God.
But can jock spell?
Oh, it's true. Girlfriend pussy pushes me out when she come. Does this happen to anyone else?
Did we do this before?
I don't know. I don't think so. When my girlfriend orgasms from penetration, about half the time her pushy contracts so much I physically cannot stay inside her.
Sorry, her what?
Her pussy?
You said pushy.
Did I?
Technically correct, though.
Yeah. She occasionally squirts, and I get pushed out. Especially hard when that happens. But it's not only then. I haven't given 100% effort to stay inside in these moments because I'm afraid of hurting her, / stopping her orgasm, / hurting my dick. But I have held on pretty hard, and it seems to slow down how quickly I get pushed out, but I really don't get the sense I could stop it. Lol. So I'm assuming the question is, like, what up with that?
We've all been there.
Yeah.
I feel like, okay, firstly, the squirting and the additional lube definitely makes for an easier enter and exit situation. Some people really clench. And sometimes people don't often, but other times it's just like the clench isn't necessarily always the same. Sometimes it's real strong. And there have been times where unless your angle and your force and your everything is like really aligned, you might be, worried about getting pushed out. Or at least like there's some times where it's like it's clamping real hard and you're like, oh my God, is this the day that it happens?
This is the day it gets ripped off.
Yeah. Plus
also,
side makes you last slightly longer because of the terror.
You're completely forgetting that the vagina is a very strong muscle. And it's filled with muscls.
Yeah,
like there's a bunch of shit down there.
It's just muscles and wetness. Those are the two
and
best
nerves.
things to shove something out of.
You also have to understand that like 9 times out of 10, the lady is doing some work on her end to also come. It's a process. Like every now and then you'll find a lady who like a stiff breeze can get her off.
They'll come while sitting on a D-box while watching a movie.
If a seat vibrates, that'll be enough for her. But like, there's also a good amount of women who require a little bit of mental focus and a lot of like concentration, a lot of sort of muscular manipulation to sort of get where they're going, and that's probably what you're feeling. She's probably holding up her end of the deal and helping you out so that she can come. And yes, does that mean that there will be some pushing out, some rearranging of the negative space within her? Yeah.
How dare you call vaginas negative? It's 2019, man.
The negative space. That's an art term.
Wink.
Wink. But also, I found that I've been with a few squirters in my time, and I find that like the vaginal floor and the vaginal walls tend to be extra sort of
powerful.
Yeah, articulate?
Ooh,
is that a word that I can use?
I forgive you for calling vaginas negative now.
When the flood's about to come, I find that there tends to be a little bit more of a
about to flood.
Ooh, there tends to be a little bit more,
squeeze
a little less space, a little more swelling.
Yeah. So I've never had what it sounds like this guy is trying to like fights Stone Cold Steve Austin, keeps getting thrown out of the ring, kind of thing. Like it just
How
happens.
dare you? Stone Cold never gets thrown out of the ring.
No, he's he's trying to fight Stone Cold.
The vagina is
Stone Cold.
Yeah,
I
hell
hope
yeah.
it's not. Hope it's at least warm.
Lukewarm Steve Austin.
Lukewarm Steve Austin. Man, can we? How long before someone could actually do that? You know what I mean? Is it too soon? Is it always going to be too soon? Is there ever going to be room in the world?
What are you talking about?
We could start like our wrestling. Like, could you go and join WWE and be like, I'm going to be lukewarm Steve Austin?
Oh, absolutely not. I think Stone Cold will literally be summoned and just stunner you on the spot.
Because like,
but for real,
he's still alive, right? Of
Yeah.
course, yeah. You don't want to wait till just as he dies, because that's not cool.
You can
if you do it while he's
never do
alive, he's going to throw you out of the ring like this girl's vagina. But if you do it too much in the future, is he going to be so hallowed a figure that's never going to last?
He's already hollowed.
Well, they forget about him.
He was hollowed when he fucking squirted Vince McMahon with fucking milk out of a milk truck and a hose.
Is he vagina? He's squirting? He's throwing people out of the ring? Oh my god.
I've already told you that, yeah.
Anyway.
You've already assumed.
I don't think I've ever had anything like that dramatic, at least like constantly. So what I'm wondering is, because he does mention hesitance on his part, that I assume it's a bit of half and half. Like the second things start getting a little squeezy, he's like, nope. So talk to her. Be like, hey, just a heads up, I'm worried that when you're coming, because like also, I feel like if someone was worried about holding my dick while I was coming, I would be so sad if they stopped while I'm coming, because that's the fucking golden hour. That's the perfect time. That's when the actions get their fucking beautiful, like, no, don't stop while I'm coming, please. So for this poor girl, maybe she's like, oh man.
Yeah,
so maybe talk to her and be like, yo,
there's no harm in saying like, hey,
I feel like I'm half forced out. Are you cool with that? Because I'm worried if I try and like maintain my position that I might hurt you. And she's probably gonna be like, no man, fucking bring it to me.
Alternatively, what I do, and I found I've gotten great success from, is when you sort of like, when you really can't get that angle anymore and you're not really, like, you can't really do anything anymore, there's no harm in sliding out and then reaching around and playing with the clit.
Well, if you're already playing with the clit, which often you should be anyway.
That's the time to like just double down on it.
Sure.
Like make sure it happens. I find that like just a quick, back and forth across it, that gets the water flowing.
If you're not already, then yes. Unless, everyone has different things, unless that's not what she's into. But yeah, if you're not already doing it, this is the perfect time to do that. Mm-hmm. She's not even going to notice your dick's gone if she's also now getting surprise,
if she's coming and
extra outside stimulation.
Exactly.
Like, that's just it's going to be great. But if you're already doing that, I don't know, have the talk. See where she stands with your dick standing in her.
Also, don't feel like this needs to be like something you have to bring up over breakfast or like coffee, or you can have that talk right then and there. Like if you're getting pushed out, you'd be like, yeah, there's no harm in being like, hey, you're pushing me out. Should I hold on? Should I get, you know what I mean? Like, and
that's the least sexy way to say it. It's like, you want me to keep fucking you?
Yeah.
There you go. Like,
no.
Pull that hair a little bit, whisper into that ear.
Girl, am I riding this Bronco or are you trying to buck me off? You just tell me.
I'm like getting off a station early.
I get back on.
Hey, is this a short-term bus? Is this bus short-turning?
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 You just become...
Hey, I'm mid-coital. My dick's being squeezed. Do you think I'm going to be able to talk properly? You're like, is this straight?
Yeah.
Like, just have a chat and play with that clit.
Mm-hmm.
Or, remember we talked about Drippy Darnell? Throw a bunch of chalk in there. You won't slip out.
Oh my God, please.
Don't do that, please.
Please don't.
That's
just the mental image.
Yeah, I know. It's both hilarious and disgusting.
No, it's not hilarious. I don't like anything about it.
Yeah, that's one of those moments where we make flippant joke remarks for comedy purposes that are almost half funny because they're meant to be never taken seriously.
All I can think
I worry that there's someone out there that takes them seriously. Please don't.
Did you ever make it in like science class in like the
Ziploc
baggie?
I made it in science class.
It's like a soft goopy liquid until like you like touch it and then it hardens.
Like a dick?
Kind of. But you know what I'm talking about? It's like flour and water and like for whatever reason it hardens when you like grab it.
Like a dick?
Yeah. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I've seen a dick.
Never mind. Someone out there knows exactly what fucking...
Yeah, it's like a force thing. So it's like if you hit it hard, it'll go solid. If you just slowly push your finger through, you'll get your way through.
Yeah, like a dick.
We've all been there. Yeah, you slap my dick, it'll get real hard. But if you touch it, you'll just slip right through.
Yeah, if you put your finger just right slowly inside of
Ow. My dick hurts now. All right, we going? We just finishing this shit?
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do it right
Actually,
here.
no, we'll do this real quickly.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Deleted.
It's deleted, but it was quick, which is why I did it anyway. Best way to find MILFs online?
I literally used to go on. Oh fuck! I went through a older woman phase, and I would go on. Fuck! What was the name of that website? They were like really bad TV ads. Cougar Life? Was it Cougar Life? I think it was Cougar Life, but you had to pay for it. But you got like a free account, and you had a certain amount of like messages you could send, but people couldn't send it back to you, so you'd have to like hide your email in the message. Man, I was...
I'm sorry, what? I expected this to be a bullshit response where we were gonna... Okay.
I mean, it's a bullshit response. I'm not proud of this. Like, this isn't something I'm...
What age were you?
It would have been... I would have been like 21?
That's too old, man.
To be... Also, like, this is... I'm out of my first relationship that I had sex in. So this is like... This is sort of like my... This is like I'm 18, more or less.
But I assume it's more like it's like online dating just for older people, right?
Yeah, it's
basically like a Match.com, but for
specifically for older women looking for younger men.
Yeah, that's fair. That's hilarious though. I would love to see your like email. Did you ever get an email back?
I went on like 2 or 3 dates.
Okay.
All of them were terrible. Oh no, that's not true. Yeah, no, all of them were terrible. I was gonna say I slept with one of them in their like Prius at a No Frills parking lot, but that was a woman I met at like an all-you-can-eat oysters bar.
Well, it's fucking why not? You're gonna be so jacked up on aphrodisiacs at that point.
I don't even like oysters. It was just
or
like
Priuses.
After what I did to it, they don't like me. I
I
left a sock in there.
That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you take your socks off? That's weird.
I think I used it to clean up.
Man, I regret asking this question so much. I was gonna just tell them to click on the ads on the side of porn that say there are hot singles in this area, because that's a joke.
Hot older single.
Exactly.
He wants older single.
Yeah, there's always one of them. So do that.
Honestly, just find like hotel bars.
Go to fucking Croc Rock. There you go.
Apparently, Croc Rock's not a cougar bar anymore.
It used to be.
The young'uns have ruined it.
I know.
Not that I care anymore, but like, let me tell you, when I was like, I went there a couple times, like with you, and it was just like, I don't even think any of these kids are over 18. Like,
yeah, no,
this looks like an underage bar right now.
It's one of those things where like you always hear like, oh, it's a cougar bar, and then like I went and there's like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Is this the wrong night? What's happening? Not that I went there for cougars,
but the thing is like there'd always be like a group of like 6 women who were older who thought it was a cougar bar, who were so clearly uncomfortable because it's...
You could see them? You could see them?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I didn't realize you're sensitive.
What?
6 women died in Croc Rock. They haven't let a cougar in since. It's actually just their ghosts. That's amazing.
That's not a nice way to talk about older women. Just because they're over 40 doesn't mean they're dead, Niall.
Oh my god, this actually happened. That's why it's not a cougar bar anymore.
Don't you ever lie to me like that.
That's fair.
They just just like college kids found out that the younger college guys were going there. So
I know.
You know what I mean? It was like it's a weird cycle
A
thing.
really funny ghost bet.
If you say so.
Well, let's go. Thank you, Josh Eagle and the Harvesties for some paper stars.
You're skipping so much.
It's never too early to thank Josh.
I know. We'll do it again.
Ooh.
You got some bad sex writing for us?
I'll do it at the end.
Okay.
Like I always do, you fucking
I
asshole.
can never remember when we do it.
Literally at the end. You don't want to be like, hit them with the good stuff, then be like, by the way, here's our fucking email. Because no one's excited for that. No one's on the edge of their seats waiting for you to say the email.
You don't know?
I do.
You don't know. Thank you very much for listening.
Do we tell people we hit the top 31?
We were really excited to break top 100, but we just said, hey, fuck that. Let's break top 50.
No, we didn't say that. You guys said that. You were like, no, guys. Fuck top 100. Let's go to number 31.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've gone up like 170 spots in 10 days, 2 weeks.
I don't know. But
you guys are fucking wild.
It's really cool. Yeah, we peaked at 31. It's fucking really cool.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
And it's really awesome, the feedback and stuff we're getting. Thank you very much for listening and for rating and sharing it with your friends. A bunch of people have messaged me over the past couple of weeks being like, I'm listening and it's awesome, and like I've got everyone, like I got all my roommates hooked on it, or I got all my coworkers hooked on it, and it's that's the fucking best. Like I don't know what we did to deserve it, but I'm glad that you guys are enjoying it, and it means the world to us that you're sharing it and supporting us.
Yeah. Shout out to Maya and to Sophie, who are brand new listeners and are just knocking their way through it.
And shout out to Sarah, who I can't remember if she said she's working backwards or forwards. So you might hear this sooner than later.
So it's really funny. We have an epidemic of people working backwards, and I get it. First episode's a little rough, but we reference our own bullshit constantly. You're gonna miss it.
But maybe it's like the memento thing. It's like an aha moment where you're just like, oh, that's where it comes from.
Well, that's funny because I was actually going to solve that today by bringing a callback back to Slippery Steve. That's from next week. Goodbye, people.
Fair enough. Hit us with some sex writing. Also, sorry we didn't do that last week.
Yeah, I don't know. We forgot.
We were all fucking jacked up on a 1-year anniversary ride.
Yeah. You think we'd know after a year to do that?
I mean, like, I've introduced the podcast maybe half the episodes, so...
Yeah, but you suck, so...
I do. All right, now hit me.
So this is the winner of the Bad Sex Fiction Award in 2017.
Uh-huh.
Are you comfy?
Yes.
You don't look comfy.
I don't know. I'm covered.
There we go.
Yeah, okay, you got me.
Okay. She covers her breasts with her swimsuit. The rest of her...
That's what it's for.
The rest of her remains so delectably exposed. The skin along her arms and shoulders are different shades of tan, like water stains on a bathtub. Her face and vagina...
Damn, girl, you look like scum.
You look like a progressively less dirty bathtub. The skin among... Oh, sorry. Her face and vagina are competing for my attention, so I glance down at the billiard rack of my penis and testicles.
What? Is billiard rack like the triangle that you put the balls in?
Apparently that was one of the main reasons they won, where the judges were unsure how many testicles this person had.
Because, I mean, like, in terms of geometry, she'd be more akin to a billiard rack? Because, like, that downstairs is more of a triangle shape?
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
But the...
see, what I like is...
Like, the pool cue I get, that's the penis.
That's what I thought it was like a ball and a cue, like cue and two balls, but, like, if you were doing, like, a whole rack and the thing was involved, it would be at least two and then a bunch of balls. So, like, how many dicks and balls does this guy have? Also,
what's his downstairs situation looking like?
What is it? Also, is it green? No, but really...
Maybe his pubic hair is. That's like the green turf.
Oh, yeah. He needs to get that checked. But...
Could have dyed it.
What confuses... that should be a thing. What confuses me is he says she covers her breasts with her swimsuit.
Mm-hmm.
But that seems to be a thing where, like, after sex. But it seems like she had her tits out, and then things were getting hot, so she's like, well, better cover them. But also, here's my vagina and face. Also, I wanted to look at her face and her vagina, so I looked up my dick.
Yeah, I don't know what to do, so what you guys doing down there? Maybe it's like a divining rod, depending on where it's pointing. That's the deciding factor.
So always the face?
I mean, if he has two dicks, maybe both.
Oh, shit. Yeah, it's like they were competing for attention, so I looked at my dick. Just back and forth forever.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, well, that was an episode, boys.
I also completely forgot to do it when we did our little thing, but if you have a question...
Oh, yeah, wait. My God, what are we doing?
I got it. Today? You're horny for this. If you have a question, you can send us an email at fbuddiespodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter at FCK_buddies. You can also find us on Facebook at FCK Buddies Podcast. Also, please go check out our beautiful website. We spent way too long making it. It's not that complicated, but it took us forever. So please
I don't think
enjoy
that was our fault.
So you can visit us online at fbuddiespodcast.com. There's also a form to fill out if you have a question and you don't want to remember anything. You just go to the website, contact us, assign yourself an agent name, and we will get to you as soon as we can.
So will I Dan up first?
Yeah.
Okay. So Dan says, new post, brackets. Will proposing marriage to your ex make her get back with you, question mark, bracket?
Yeah, probably. I think that's how it works. I
Yeah.
don't want to be with you. Spend your life with me.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah, I'd like for us not to date, but you didn't say marriage. It's like, shit, that
God,
loophole.
got me again. So I started this last week as a way to get that Dan off our tongue. And I go through Pornhub and try to find a porn comment.
Have you been licking Dan?
Yeah, man. Haven't you?
No, man.
I've been doing it for a year. And this week, we're going to end the old podcast off with T-Dog31. And he says, why this dude sound like Wreck-It Ralph when he talk dirty?
Did he? Did he?
He did. My name is Dain Miller.
What does it even sound like? I don't know. Space.
And we're your fuck buddies.